Done.
So Nathan.
Hello.
What happened in these few days? Why are you leaving?
There's a few reasons why I'm leaving. The first is the way I work as a contemporary artist is through collaboration. So the first reason I feel that there isn't going to be any collaboration between the producers and the artists, and it's not. I understand that it is your will and intention to collaborate, and I feel there's an awful lot of professional pride amongst the director, more so the director than the producer, and I feel he sees his art as a production TV type thing, whereas it would have been good to get involved as artists with that and him get involved in a true collaboration. So that was the first reason. The second reason is that I knew what I was getting into with reality TV, but what I also understood that it would be a mix between art residency and reality TV, and the weight is too much towards reality TV. Another reason is there is an inequality between the foreign or guest contestants like myself and the Lithuanian contestants. I feel the Lithuanian contestants are more manipulated by a cynical production company.
Why?
For instance, in the first instance of the first day's filming, we had an elimination. None of the guests or foreigners were eliminated that day, just Lithuanians. I understand this is through organisational difficulties and things. However,
It's just show rules.
however, it was just a mean and nasty way of selecting artists. But also, it was a reaction, a difference between the way the production company was treating the guests and the Lithuanians. And I could see that, and to me it was an injustice. And that's probably the primary reason for my leaving. Another reason is the host. I understand that the host is a music producer and ex-artist of the Academy.
But you know this from some Lithuanian people, yes?
From the meeting, the production meeting with the director.
He's a music producer right now.
Yeah.
But he's an artist.
Yeah.
And he's a very serious artist. And Lithuanian artists, not only Lithuanian artists, know him, really know.
I might have some wires crossed, but my understanding, my research is that the host of the show is he publicises girls music bands. Is that right?
Yes.
And having watched some of those videos, they come across as very misogynistic and sexist in many ways. Which is something that I'm not comfortable with being in association with. So that's another reason. But other than that, I hope I am proved wrong. And I genuinely hope that all the artists, Lithuanian and guest artists, all collaborate and make really strong work. Because it is an important project. It's a sociological experiment and it should be treated critically, not as with a little bit of circus thrown in, but it shouldn't be treated as a circus without any of the critical aspects, the sociological or the contemporary art coming through in good, transformative and interesting work. And another reason, which I'm a little bit hesitant to say, and you'll probably edit it, is that I'm not sure you trust your audience enough. This show may well have gone down better on the Cultural Channel, and I understand that you have quite a prime time slot on the Thursday, but they don't I think you need to trust your audience more, because this is a new concept of TV.
Why do you think we don't trust them?
Because of the sensationalist techniques that you've been hinting at using.
Couldn't you wait for the start of the creating
of
the real show? Then you might talk.
Yeah.
But now, It hasn't started yet.
No. I would have waited, but I think the attitudes of the director and the senior, when it came to signing contracts, the actual contract, the lack of trust, and the lack of understanding, and the lack of artistic knowledge I see a void in the critical framework of this project. And again, it's not necessarily anyone's fault, it's just the way timing has worked. But I've got a lot of things going on outside of this. And if it is, it's been pretty disorganised for the last 10 days. And when I've weighed everything up, I'm not keen to go another 10 days and lose out on the many other things that I could be doing.
It starts tomorrow, no, today.
Yeah, I've got a flight in 2 hours, so I need to go. Thank you.
And the last question, okay?
Okay, one more.
Nathan, why are you the only one who is leaving?
I think many of the other artists we all have our own agenda and reasons for doing the show. And I think for some of us, I don't want to speak for the other artists, but for some of the other artists, I think it suits their practice. For instance, I don't want to speak about the other artists, but for instance, Tom's practice, who I'm really a big fan of, and he's a great artist, is about sport and competition. And that really fits the dynamic. If the production company don't start messing around too much with trying cheap reality TV gimmicks, then Tom's practice will come through and become a really entertaining product in its own right. I know you like products and things, but so Tom has a really interesting, engaging product. He'll hate me describing it as that, but he has. It's this relationship between sport, competition and art. So it suits his practice. Eero is a very competent artist. His work is very good and very strong, okay? But this medium is brilliant for him because he can challenge it all the time. He can perform, he can act, and he can really use his skills in this medium. The other artists are very much at the start of their careers, and they haven't invested as much time or money into what they do. I'm not saying I'm a great artist or anything yet, but there are things happening in my career that I would hope could turn and go somewhere. And I think when I weigh it up, it's probably the risk is probably too much at this point in my career because of the behaviour of the production company till now. I haven't got any faith that this will actually benefit me in any way.
Don't you think it is some misunderstanding?
It may well be. But for the reasons I've talked about at the start of this interview, I've really sat down and thought about this. I mean, you know, in no disrespect to the program makers or anything, you know, this hasn't been an easy decision, and I have thought about it an awful lot. And Eero's got a brilliant saying, which is, integrity is our commodity. I like championship, I like the competition. If you keep it to that, I think you'll have a really successful program. And I really hope you do have a really successful program.
I think we will, yeah.
I think you will have as well. And I really genuinely, because I like all my fellow contestants, I've really bonded with them, and it's been really hard to leave. But I need to think about, well, for the reasons why I've just stated, I need to take a back seat and leave. So I'd like to thank for the opportunity, and I do feel bad for the other artists that were shortlisted. Maybe I've rescued them. I'd like, maybe if we could invite those Lithuanians back, the ones that were rejected on the first day.
It may be.
That might be really good. I'd really like my position to go back to them. That would be brilliant.
Won't you show us your face?
No. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.